activism. Judicial activism. So what is it? Bhunesh Karan. So what is judicial activism? So suppose there are judges, right? So the judges present in the Supreme Court, when they are interpreting and they are making some new laws, already predefined laws are present inside the which part? Inside the Constitution. So inside the Constitution, predefined laws are present. So suppose you want to make any changes to the laws, suppose the judges are doing that, then it is referred to judicial activism. You are going to change or you are going to create new laws. That is judicial activism. So who is going to do that? Judges. Judges, whenever they are going to interpret in the sense they are going to change or modify or they are going to create a new law, then it is referred to as judicial activism. Change or create new laws. But laws will not be present inside the Constitution. You are going to change it or you are going to create new law. So how that the judges are going So how the judges are going to create or change new law? So they are going to use their own belief. They are thinking that is right and they are going to do it. So they are going to use their own beliefs and they are going to make some decisions. So based upon the decision, Selvam and Rahul. So based upon the decision, they are going to make new laws. So in other terms, you can tell it as you are expanding the law already present or you are going to overall modify it. So expanding or reinterpreting. Reinterpreting the words present inside the law. The meaning of reinterpreting the meaning of words. Meaning of words in a law. So in general, you are just going to create or modify a law that is not present inside the Constitution. That is referred to as judicial activism. Who is going to do that? Judges are going to do that. So what will be the advantage of this judicial activism? So what will be the advantage and disadvantage of this judicial activism? Selvam? So what will be the advantage? If you just think about this concept, tell what will be the advantage of it. Why we need to create new laws? In order to make the law fairer for each individual. In order to make the law fairer, okay, listen. In order to make the law fairer for each individual, the judges can create new laws. So that will be the advantage. So what will be the disadvantage? So already you have elected some members and they have formed the government. So above that, if the judges are making some new laws, then it is somewhat disrespectful to the government that is formed. So that will be the disadvantage here. So advantage will be protect individual rights. Hello, get up. Protect individual rights. The disadvantage will be power of government formed is a question mark here. Power of government formed will be a question mark here. So the advantage is each individual rights will be protected. Disadvantage will be already you are electing someone and you are forming the government. So their power is a question mark here. Next one, judicial activism. activism methods. Judicial activism methods. Judicial activism methods. So the first method will be broad interpretation of the Constitution. Broad interpretation of the Constitution. So whatever that is present inside the Constitution, you are going to interpret and you are going to make some changes. So using that method, you can change the law present inside the Constitution. So the first one is broad interpretation of the Constitution. Second one, creative statutory interpretation. Creative statutory interpretation. Creatively, the judges can frame the laws. That is creative statutory interpretation. Third one, expansion of constitutional rights. Expansion of constitutional rights. So already predefined laws are there. You can expand it according to the judges' creativity. Expansion of constitutional rights. Fourth one, judicial review and striking down laws. Striking down laws. Striking down laws. So judicial review is nothing but you can review on certain laws and you can avoid some laws if it is needed. That is judicial review and striking down of laws. Fifth one, policy-based reasoning. Policy-based reasoning. Policy-based reasoning. So there are several development policies in our country, right? For that, when you need to make some changes, then you go for policy-based reasoning. So in that, decisions based on decisions to support specific policies. Decisions to support specific policies. Next one in this itself. Next one. Suppose there is some injustice. So what is injustice? Tamil. Unequal. So whenever there is social injustice, so for the people when there is injustice, the judges can make some policies in order to frame new laws. During social injustice, you can frame new laws. The sixth one, public interest litigations. Public interest litigations. PIL. What is PIL? Have you heard of this term, public interest litigations? PIL. So whenever an individual or an organization, whenever the individual or the organization, they themselves will give some concern to the judges that this is happening inside the country, we need to frame some new laws, then it is referred to as PIL, public interest. Public itself is giving some concern to the judges, that is public interest litigations. So who can give it? A single individual or an organization can give concern to the judges, individual or organization. Next topic, significance of judicial activism. Significance of judicial activism. So why we need to go for judicial activism? So first thing, whenever there is social injustice, whenever you want to protect some individual rights, then you will go for the judges will make some new laws. That is referred as judicial activism. So protecting rights. So why we need to protect rights? In order to provide equal value for everyone. So promoting equality. Next one, promoting equality among checks and balances. Checks and balances. So that means that the judges can check and they can modify and they can balance and they can create new laws. That is checks and balances. Next one, caution needed. Caution needed. So whenever they are framing some new laws, there should be caution enough that all these characters should not be affected. The fundamental rights should not be affected. Same way equality should not be affected. Such that they should frame new laws. That is caution needed. Next one, evolution of. Next topic, evolution of judicial activism. Evolution of judicial activism. So from which period judicial activism started is from 1970s. 1970, in this range only, the judicial activism started. Then this BAL, public interest litigation. This was started in 1980s. 1980s. So there are some cases available. First one, 1973, the year 1973. Kesavanta Bharati. Kesavanta Bharati versus State of Kerala. The case between Kesavanta Bharati versus Kerala State Government versus State of Kerala. So in that, the Supreme Court has framed. In that, the Supreme Court has laid down some laws. That is, it has abolished some unconstitutional laws. That is striking down of unconstitutional laws. So between the single person case of the Bharati versus Kerala State Government, the case was held, and in that some laws were being abolished in the year 1973. Next one in 1980. Menaka Gandhi versus Union of India. That is the central government versus Union of India. So in that, the Supreme Court has given free legal aid to the poor people. Free legal aid to poor people. Free legal aid to poor people. Next one in the year 1993, NAS Foundation. NAS Foundation versus Government of Delhi. Next one in 2002, MC Mehta versus Union of India. MC Mehta versus Union of India. So in this case, the order to clean the Ganga River. Ganga River cleaning. Next to the year 2001. Right to Education Act. Right to an act was passed individually. Right to Education Act. That is free education for universal free education. What do you want? Universal free education for all people, for all children. constitution. Whereas here judicial restraint, you cannot interpret the constitution. Not interpret constitution. So here you are going to adapt to the change. So based upon the change, you can frame new laws. Whereas here, the original meaning of the constitution, whatever it is present inside the constitution, so based upon the original meaning only, the judges can give their judgment here. But here, according to the changes, you can make some new laws. Whereas here, based upon the original meaning, only you can give the judgment. So here, in policies and social change and all, you can interfere and you can give some judgment. In policies and social change, the judges can interfere and they can make new laws. But whereas here, the judges will not interfere in anything related to policy as well as social change. So from both of this, which is going to promote equality, judicial activism or judicial restraint activism. So this is going to promote equality as well as individual rights will be done. Individual rights. Whereas here, the opposite of it. Next topic, local self-government. Last topic of first unit, local self-government. Local self-government. So what is local self-government? When you are going to govern or administer a small area, that is referred to as local self-government. So you are going to administer small area. So who is called as a father of local government? Father of local government. During the British period, I am asking. That is father of nation. I am asking father of local self-government. Lord Ridgway is called as the father of local government. Father of local government. The year 1952, so several committees and programs have been formed since independence. We'll see one by one. In 1952, listen, 1952, Community Development Program. Community Development Program was started. How local self-government was formed step by step. Just the year what was formed, that alone you just know. 1952, Community Development Program. The year 1953, National Extension Service. National Extension Service. So ward committees also called as municipalities. So the members of this Grama Sabha as well as ward committee, that are the members are being elected by directly or indirectly. Directly by who? By people. So direct election by people. Take down. It is by direct election through people. So how much of the seats are for women? Ratio. 1/3 of the seats are for women. So for how much period of term this Grama Sabha and ward committee has been formed? For a period of 5 years. So for a period of 5 years, through direct elections, people are electing them, and among them 1/3 will be women. Next topic, committee and the recommendation. Committee and recommendation. Committee and recommendation. Then first one, Alvin Fry Mehta Committee. Alvin Fry Mehta Committee, the year 1957. 1957.